Hello, welcome guys. Welcome to the 3D market commentary for today, Monday, 28th of June. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend and ready for a trading week ahead. My name is Becky. I know my head is in the way, but my email address there is becky@tradictive.com. So you can use that if you need to get hold of me. There's also this link here, if I can bring that up. This link here, I'll take it to you in a second. It's where you can ask a question to us publicly, which is always helpful. Now, before we do that, let's just cover the disclaimers. Should be highlighted there. There we go. Of course, important for legal reasons to read and understand the disclaimers, but also just for your purposes that you know that these kind of videos are demonstrations and do not indicate in any way the results you may receive on using our products. Okay, so this link here, just quickly, tradewithufos.com/Becky. That brings you here. Now, what you can do on this page, you can set yourself up with a free Trade with UFOs membership. Now, with that, you'll get recordings of the YouTube sessions that we do. You'll get reminders for the YouTube sessions that we do. You'll get the email that I'm about to go through every single day, which gives you information on 5 major markets in the world. You'll also be able to come down here and ask a question in public. Now, why is that important? Because if you have a question, probably somebody else has thought about it or will think about it. And if the answer is in public, then other people can learn from it. So if you ask us in this public area, then we answer it in this public area. So down here, you'll see questions that have already been there and answers that have already been answered to that question. So if you do it there, it means other people learn in the community. If you feel uncomfortable to do that, of course, you can email us. We'd prefer that you do it here because it helps everybody else to learn. But you can email as well, of course, if you have any questions. You can also from here book one-on-one coaching as well, if you'd like. Okay, so we're doing a 3D market commentary, so let's bring that up. Now, 3D market commentary is essentially every day, every weekday, we send out a newsletter. In that newsletter, we have 5 of the major world markets or markets in the world, and we go across 3 different elements for each of them. So it's our 3D market commentary. Now, what we do first and foremost is look at market climate. Essentially, for each of the markets that we look at, where do we have probabilities? Up, down, or nowhere? If it's up, then we should probably be looking to go long or buy. If it's down, then we should probably be looking to go short or sell. If it's nowhere, then we should probably do nothing. So that's what we use our market climate for. Now, we use this app here called the Auto Climate app. Let me just highlight that for now. Auto Climate app. And we're looking at these dots here. If it's a thick red dot, that tells us probability down. We should probably look to sell. If it's a thick blue dot, then that's probability up. We should look to buy. If it's a thin dot of either color, that tells us not enough probability, don't do anything. So we use an app to help us answer that question. This app, by the way, Auto Climate app, is a free app on most platforms. So once you've got your free membership, you can check that out. Buy and sell UFOs, that's the second thing we look at. Essentially, if I'm going to buy, where should I buy? If I'm going to sell, where should I sell? If we're buying, we want to buy where there's lots of other buying. That's why we use these green UFOs. I know it looks like a little flying saucer, and you might think that's what UFO means. Actually means unfilled order. What this means is essentially in these green UFOs, and it's highlighted on the right hand side as well, these prices, this is where we have buy orders, lots of them. So if we want to buy, then we want to buy where there's lots of other buying because it's likely to push price upwards. If we want to sell, then we'll sell at these red UFOs. Again, highlights to us the prices, exactly where those sell orders are. If we want to sell where there's lots of other selling because more likely to push price down. So we use apps and technology to help us decide, firstly, do we have probabilities up, down, or nowhere? And secondly, if we have probabilities up, where do we buy? If we have probabilities down, where do we sell? And we use technology to highlight this for us. We're also going to look at volatility per market, so we understand the associated risk and reward. So we'll do that per market. Now, each of the markets we look at, we're looking at daily charts. Of course, different things happen on different timeframes, but what we go through today will be relevant to daily timeframes. So first things first, let's start with the S&P. So the S&P 500 are the top 500 US stocks, and we're looking at the futures contract for it. Essentially, we're looking at a representation of the US stock market. Now, with this, we have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot, probability upwards. That means we should probably look to buy or go long. Now, usually this market would go up for 8.83 candles. Going to round that up to 9. Goes up for 9 candles, and we're on candle number 5, meaning we still have probability of a move upwards based on what usually happens as well. So far, so good. With our buy and sell UFOs, we have no sell orders above us. We have buy orders below us at 4248.25 to 4205.75. That's where we have a stack of buy orders, which we would expect if price were to drop a little bit and hit this stack of buy orders, would go up from there. So overall probability up here with the S&P. Now you'll notice I'll say probability up, probability down. I'm using the word probability. It's not definite. We still manage our risk just in case, and you may have other boxes you need to check before you go and place these trades. But you wouldn't be trading unless you have at least some form of probability, hopefully. Hopefully this helps. Now, in terms of volatility, in 1 year, we would expect the S&P to go up or down by 16.2%, which means in a day, up or down of 43.6 points, in a week, up or down of 95.97 points, and in a month, up or down of 199.78 points. That's what we would expect up or down within those given periods of time for the S&P. Overall, probability upwards for the time being. Okay, moving on to the next market, which is oil. In the meantime there, it says about looking to educate yourself. Now, we do courses in many different things, futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans, psychology. So you can go ahead and just take those courses if you'd like. Now, you may be somebody that says, I don't really want to take a course, I just want the apps. And you can do that. You can subscribe directly to the AutoUFOs. Again, bear in mind, AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms. AutoUFOs is a paid-for app. Depending on the platform, depends on how much it costs. For example, on TradingView, it's $34 per month. Again, this is the app that tells us where specifically we should buy and sell based on where we have probability that there are other buyers or other sellers. Now, $34 on TradingView. The great thing about the courses is that most of them come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. Now, if it's $34 a month for the AutoUFOs, and some of the courses we do are a one-off fee of $34 or a one-off fee of $89, you do the maths on that, it works out cheaper to access the AutoUFOs by doing a course for the first 3 months. So if that's something you're interested in as well, check that. Okay, coming back to oil. With oil, we have, again, a confirmed upwards climate. Thick blue dot here, probability to the upside. Now, usually this market goes up for 6.47 candles. Going to round that up to 7. Normally goes up for 7 candles, and we're on candle number 24, which means this has gone way past what is normal in terms of a move to the upside. It's not necessarily meaning to say it's going to turn any second. It just means it lacks more probability that it continues. Of course, we can go past what's normal. We've already done that. It's just the longer you go past what's normal, the less likely it is to keep doing that. The more likely it is to turn back round because it's overextended. So we still have probability up, but not as many as we would like, I would say. Now, when it comes to buy and sell UFOs, again, no sell orders above us, but we have buy orders here between 74.25 to 72.32, and price is just within that at the moment. Again, we would expect price being within it, but these UFO would push price upwards. So overall, still probability up with oil. However, we are overextended. So bear that in mind. That drops the probabilities a little bit. And when it comes to market volatility, within 1 year, we would expect movement up or down on oil of 31.3%, which means in a day, up or down of 1.46 points, in a week, 3.21 points up or down, and in a month, 6.69 points up or down. So again, that just gives us what we would expect in terms of those movements within those given periods of time. For the time being, still probability up, although perhaps not as much as we'd like it to be. Okay, next market here is gold. Now, whilst I load that, it says down here about coaching and support. Of course, you're probably accessing this on YouTube for free. We do a lot of coaching and support for free, of course, to help you guys that are watching us on YouTube and Facebook as well. We also have a closed coaching community, which is $21 per month, which you can use to have access to more of our time in a closed environment. So you can access that as well. Okay, so gold, we have a confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot here, probability to the downside. Now, usually this market would go down for 6.29 candles. So again, I'm just going to round that up to 7, and we're on candle number 11. So again, we've gone past what's usual by a little bit. So again, overextended to the downside. Bear that in mind. It takes away a bit of the probabilities. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, we have sell orders much closer by. Those are at 1866 to 1804.4. Our buy orders are all the way down here at 1652.8 to 1624.4. So again, closer to sell orders, probability downwards on the climate, overall probability down here on gold, but it is overextended, so we lack a little bit of probability there, so bear that in mind. In terms of volatility, we expect that within 1 year, we would see gold move up or down of 15.29%, which tells us in a day, up or down of 17.11, in a week, up or down of 37.67 points, and in a month, up or down of 78.41 points. So that's gold. Again, overall probability down for the time being. Moving on to the next market, which is the US dollar. The US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide every single day. So even if you don't trade it, be aware of it. It will impact most other markets that possibly exist. So with this, we have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dots here, probability to the upside. Now, usually this market would go up for 4.65 candles, call it 5. We're on candle number 11. So again, overextended, gone past what's usual, lacking a little bit of probability there. Still overall probability up, but not as many as we might necessarily like. Buy and sell UFOs, kind of in the middle of them. We have sell orders up here at 93.125 to 92.84, and buy orders down here at 90.64 to 90.31. Overall, probability still upwards, not close enough to either stack of orders for it to really change anything today. New orders, of course, can come into the markets and change things. For the time being, a slight probability to the upside here with the dollar. In terms of volatility, less volatile than the others in that we would expect in 1 year a movement up or down of 5.36%, which means in 1 day, 0.31 points up or down. In 1 week, 0.68 points up or down. And in 1 month, 1.42 points up or down. So that's the US dollar. Okay, moving on to the last market, which is backed Bitcoin. Let's check that out. Let's just move this up here a little bit. There we go. So backed Bitcoin. I'm going to move price a little bit as well so we see all of our UFOs. Backed Bitcoin, we have a confirmed downwards climate. Thick red dot, probability there to the downside with Bitcoin. Now, usually, oh, sorry, I highlighted the wrong thing. Usually, we don't actually know how long this market goes down for because it's not old enough yet. It's not been around long enough for us to have the data to say this is what normally happens or this isn't what normally happens. So we're kind of in the dark there. What we do know is that we're on the 7th candle to the downside, but we don't know whether or not that's normal. So kind of in the dark there, but overall probability down. With buy and sell UFOs, we have sell orders here at 39,295 to 37,460. And we have buy orders here, 27,782.5 to 22,910. And again, kind of in the middle there, slightly closer to the sell orders, but the climate really is what's pushing the market downwards. When it comes to volatility, Bitcoin is much more volatile than the others, so bear that in mind. We would expect a movement up or down in 1 year of 106.28%, which means in 1 day, up or down of 2,285.34, in a week, up or down of 5,030.95, and in 1 month, up or down of 10,472.75. So overall probability down there with Bitcoin. Okay, so that's all of the markets done. Just to come now to the economic calendar. We look at the FX Street economic calendar. What we do here is filter by high impact news. You can go to that and you can filter by different markets. We look at loads of markets all over the world. So for example, today we actually don't have any high impact news coming out today that could impact most major world markets. Tomorrow we have a few on the euro, Chinese yuan as well. So if you trade those things or you trade markets within those countries, you might want to bear that in mind. All of this calendar does is let us know that we have scheduled reports that may impact the markets in a high way, right? Now, it might be that they don't move at all, but it might be that there's a lot of volatility that comes with this. So just bear that in mind. Volatility can be a good thing if you're on the right side, can be a bad thing if you're on the wrong side. So up to you how you take volatility, but this calendar should help you to understand where, when and where it might be happening. So that's everything in terms of what we have to cover today. If you have any questions on the courses, apps, coaching, memberships, you can self-schedule a clarification call to speak to one of our experts. If you have questions about what I've covered or trading questions, anything like that, you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership, fill in the details here and follow the steps. And then you can come down and either book one-on-one coaching with me, or of course you can ask a question here in public so that I can answer it in public and everybody else can learn from that. So good luck, guys. Have a great day in the markets today. I'll be back on Thursday. My colleague Boyan will be taking it tomorrow on Wednesday. So I'll see you guys on Thursday, and hopefully you have a good week between now and then. I will see you